In the last lecture, we saw a video capture of a demonstration for the castor oil packs. This was taken from YouTube, and I apologize. The video quality of the original YouTube video is poor. The sound and the images are fairly poor. The resolution is low. So when you do a video capture, the quality gets even worse, but I hope you could understand and visually see everything that was done. This is probably one of the better videos online demonstrating how to do the castor oil packs, and I wanted you to see it. Also, as I mentioned earlier, there were a few things not mentioned in the video, and I want to go over those with you. I want to talk a little bit more about supplies. The video mentions buying a large bottle of castor oil, but it doesn't tell you how large a bottle to buy. Here's a picture from Amazon of a 32-ounce quart of organic castor oil sold by the Heritage Store. It's $14.27. It's not a bad price. You can shop around. You might be able to get it a little bit cheaper, but a 32-ounce bottle will last a long time. If two people are going to do castor oil packs for the 4 to 6 week duration, which is the length of time recommended for them, you will need a 32-ounce bottle. And remember, castor oil can be used topically on your skin for a wide variety of reasons, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. The supplemental material will have a list of all of the ways you can use it. But this is a good investment. It'll last a long time. Just keep it in a closet, a dark closet that's not too hot. I do not keep mine in the refrigerator. Maybe you can refrigerate it. I don't know about that. But I keep mine in the cupboard in the kitchen. Now here's another snapshot from the Amazon website. Again, another product sold by the Heritage Store. This is the actual wool flannel that you can use to make your castor oil pack with. Again, you want to buy unbleached and pure wool or flannel. This is a little bit expensive at $12.92, but it's a one-time investment. It will last a long time. If two people are going to do the packs, you're going to want to buy two of these. One of these really is not big enough to cut into two pieces. You're going to be shortchanging yourself. So make the initial investment. Now, another thing I want to point out, in the video, he shows how he puts his wool flannel in a jar with a lid on it. That's fine. I like to put mine in a plastic bag and stick it in the refrigerator. It will last about 6 months. Now, if it begins to become discolored, if you use the pack and the material seems to be stained or discolored or doesn't smell right, immediately throw it away and get another piece. Usually this doesn't happen, but again, when you use the pack, some people claim that their material gets very darkened and perhaps there are toxins coming out of their liver directly onto the material. I don't know what's going on there, but I've not experienced that, but I know it can happen. So if in doubt, throw it out. Let me spend a few minutes reviewing the ways to use the castor oil pack, and the YouTube video didn't really go into a lot of detail. I want to embellish it a little bit and put in some information based on my experience. First of all, with regard to the amount of time you use it each night, generally speaking, 1 hour for 3 nights in a row is what's recommended. Some people go longer than 3 nights, and some people do it for an hour and a half. What I recommend is very simple. If after an hour you start becoming very uncomfortable, stop. I personally like to do it for an hour. An hour and a half I find is just too long for me. But again, each person is different. Can you overdo it with the castor oil packs? No, I don't think you can overdo it. But again, I like to do it for an hour for 3 nights in a row. Now, what happens is the next week, you're going to repeat the process again. Same days as the week before and same time. It's a good suggestion to do it around the same time of the day. I like to do mine in the early evening, maybe an hour or two after I've eaten. I'm going to lie down, relax, put the packs on, and just unwind. That's the time of the day I like to do it. But again, you do what you think is best for yourself. Again, the total duration is 4 to 6 weeks. So 3 nights in a row each week for a total of 4 to 6 weeks. Again, it depends on how you're feeling. Okay? Now, with regard to the taking of olive oil after each night, I would be very cautious with this. I would use a tiny bit of olive oil on the first night, maybe a half of a teaspoonful. And then on the third night, maybe a teaspoonful. Some people are very sensitive to olive oil because their gallbladder is very toxic and loaded with gallstones. Therefore, olive oil is hard to ingest for some people. So start out very slowly. And then in the second week, maybe build it up to a teaspoon each night. And then on the third night, maybe a tablespoon. And then maybe build it up a little bit more on the third week. You have to gauge how you feel. For some people, like put a tiny bit of olive oil into their body, and they can be in excruciating pain. I've seen it happen. It's not common, and don't get nervous about it. It's not going to hurt you. But just start out slowly and build up from there. When you get done with your castor oil pack, you want to clean your liver area off. And the video mentions using baking soda and water. I want to talk a little bit more about that because I don't think there was enough information there. What I do after taking a castor oil pack is I like to go into the shower and use soap and water to wash the area off, that the part of my body that has the oil residue on it. It's fairly hard to get the oil off. After I use the soap and water, I'll take a couple of tablespoons of baking soda mixed with a quart or two of water, and then I'll start rubbing that to really clean the area off. Now, it's not a matter of life or death regarding the cleaning of it, but you don't want to leave a large amount of castor oil on your body, especially on the liver area, for a long period of time. What happens is the castor oil starts to become somewhat acidic on your body. Now, if you're putting castor oil on your skin for a cut or bruise or sprained ankle or back pain, or on your face, around your eyes, around wrinkles, on age marks, whatever the topical reason is, you can leave that on for long periods of time. That's not going to hurt you. I'm talking about a large area of the body, such as the liver area. You're going to want to wash that off with baking soda and water. That's really important. Now, if you have a large burn on your body or scar tissue, I've seen pictures of people who had really bad scarring from bike burns. They're on motorcycles and their legs touched a hot part of the bike, and they ended up with a really bad burn, which turned to some scar tissue. Now, if you're going to put castor oil on a large area like that, it's okay to leave it on. And it can take several months for it to work with, badly damaged skin tissue. Again, I'm gonna have a little bit of a review later and go over some more of the ways it can be used topically, because there's almost no end to the possibilities for castor oil. When I think I've seen everything, I'll read another story of how someone used it for something so unusual, and the positive effects they got from it were nothing short of miraculous. So the bottom line is, don't be afraid to use it. In fact, put it in your mouth, rub it around your gums at night. If you have bleeding gums, teeth problems, any sort of infection in your mouth, it will get rid of it so quickly, it'll make your head spin. It'll work very quickly, and it's very safe. You can, as we know, people can actually drink castor oil because it's used as a laxative. I don't recommend it be used that way, but again, don't be afraid to put it around your gums, in your mouth, on almost any part of your body. Regarding the use of it in your ears or eyes, I would hesitate to recommend that, although people do it for earaches and they do it for eye issues, but I'm a little uncomfortable recommending that, so you have to proceed with caution. Again, I will list the different ways it can be used topically, which will include, putting it in your ears and eyes, and you can decide for yourself whether that's something you want to do.